Welcome to episode 1 of my Music Journey podcast. I am your host, Carolina, aka Neni. Today, you will learn my thought process as I was invited to be a presenter for the BMS in Paris, which is the Black Music School in Paris. The only one, actually. For the last month, I've been collaborating with this school. I've been very honored to be invited to coach a few of the students as they were preparing for a big event. They were going to be the main show for a special soirée that was going to take place at the Renaissance Hotel, which is very close to the Arc de Triomphe. You might have seen the picture I posted on Instagram about that as I was going last Friday. The theme of the show was Ella and Beyoncé. I was so thrilled when Laurence invited me to coach them and to give my opinions and give them some guidance in their stage presence or their technique for singing or anything that I wanted to advise them on. It was a lot of fun, and even though it was stressful for them because it's really hard sometimes to take criticism, they were marvelous and they really listened to my advice, and the show was absolutely incredible. I attended several of the rehearsals leading to the performance, and the change between the first time I coached them and the last time was really fantastic. I was so proud of them. They were really, really good students, and one of the things that you have to be when you're a student is to learn to be humble. I even had a chance to work with some of them one-on-one, and I saw tremendous progress. I'm used to belting out because of my experience with the gospel choirs. And I noticed that it's very hard sometimes as a musician to just get everything out and belt out all your voice like the whole body is vibrating. The pleasure of doing this is something that I just can't tell you or describe unless you feel it. But to show some of the students, I took them outside in the yard and asked them to scream or to remember how they were screaming when they were a kid. And this same sensation in the whole body when you scream and you feel like all the sound is coming out is what you have to feel when you're singing like the legends, such as Ella or Beyoncé. The power of the voice should be reaching every single audience in there. Prior to the show, I was having a conversation with the director, Laurence, and I was telling her my ideas about what musicians represent for me and what is their responsibility. And as she heard my speech, she asked me, why don't you say that in the show and present? And I said, oh my God, really? So I said, of course, I will do that for you. The conversation came about because, as you know, I like to post inspirational quotes, and I'm always trying to create content for my fans. And I was actually taking a shower and thinking about the impact of musicians in the world. And that night when I met with her, I expressed my thoughts, and she thought it was very appropriate given the event that I would say these things to you. So I'm going to tell you what I was thinking. The work of the musician is the work of their souls and the transformation of their struggles into the art that they make, which makes them timeless. We're all connected, and so if they talk from their soul, then they speak to everybody's soul. When they compose and they play and sing, they actually heal their own souls, and they actually grow too, and then makes everybody that listens to them grow and heal as well. And this is why the responsibility of musicians seems to me bigger and more powerful than politicians, religious leaders, doctors, because they transform individuals, societies, and cultures for generations and generations. Like the way African American music has changed the history of singing about war, pain, separation, and unity. And then I thought, this is exactly the work of Ella and Beyoncé. Ella touches our hearts with her voice, timeless. And Beyoncé has crossed racial boundaries, and especially with her latest video, Formation, where she totally made a strong social statement and has shocked everybody. Well, not everybody, but those who weren't ready for that. And it was about time. So there you go. That's what I was thinking, that's what I shared with the director, and that's what I actually said before the show started. The way I ended my speech that night was by mentioning that this was also the work of the singers that they were going to hear, because it was through their own experiences that they were going to interpret the songs for them. One of the biggest challenges for me was that the director actually asked me to translate this into French and to see if I could say it in French. That would be a big challenge for me, given that I'm trying to really practice with her and improve my French. I did actually. I translated on my own. I tried to make the ideas better. And then I asked for some help to my friends and my boyfriends and even the singers to correct some of the things. But I wasn't really ready to say it on my own, all in French, even though I practiced and tried to memorize it. It was a great exercise for me. But I said it in English, and Laurence was very kind to translate as I was speaking. And it was really nice, and it meant a lot to the singers. Moving to a different country is never easy, but you definitely have to connect with the people in the audience, and you have to connect with the local language. I try to make an effort to learn and to practice, and I've been studying French on my own and learning, but it takes a while. One of the fantastic things about this collaboration was that I met their percussion player. His name is Fabian Suarez, and he's from Colombia. He was amazing. He has exactly the kind of percussion that I like for my band, and he uses a cajon, a set of hi-hats, and a bunch of percussion instruments attached to his feet, exactly like Juliana Sobrino from Vida Vibrante in Boston. So I think I finally found the person that I want to work with for my band. That was fantastic. We connected, and he's going to be my percussion player for my next CD and also for the TEDx conference in Paris, May 21st. My piano player, Barbara Arnold, who plays at all the 5-star hotels in Paris, she had mentioned him to me, but we hadn't connected, and I used somebody else for my prior CD. And when I mentioned it to Barbara, she said, yes, this is the guy I told you before. And I was really thrilled. Barbara is the queen of Paris. She has introduced me to everybody that's important in my life here in Paris. Even Laurence, the director of this music school, she was the teacher of her daughter, who is also going to be a performing musician. Did I mention to you that my guitar player is Barbara's husband? Well, yes. So here we are. She is really the queen of Paris. I even met my boyfriend through her, so I really cannot thank her enough for being in my life. I want to thank the Black Music School and all their students for the wonderful welcome, especially the founder and director, Laurence Apiti. You can find this school at www.blackmusicschool.net. And I also want to thank Fabian Suarez for the connection. You can find him on Facebook as Fabian Suarez Music, and Barbara for introducing me to Laurence and all these amazing musicians. You can find Barbara on Facebook as Barbara Arnold. I would love your comment and reviews to improve your experience. Thank you so much for listening, and for more information go to www.chacin.com. That's my website. There you can find links to my music and videos on SoundCloud and YouTube. And don't forget to follow me on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So until next time, à la prochaine fois, hasta la próxima. Here's Nenny signing out.